Hey beauties, good morning to you, beautiful people. So, I guess, maybe the entire world, yeah, I guess the entire world knows by now that the Privy Council has quashed the conviction of Vybz Kartel and the other, convicted people. I don't remember if it's 2 more or 3 more of them. And sent it back to the local courts, basically to make their judgment call on what to do. So I was listening to Isaac Buchanan yesterday, and he was saying that they're no longer convicts, because it was overturned basically, and it is for the local system now to do the right thing and decide whether it's going to be a retrial or he will be acquitted, exonerated, whatever it is that will happen, and I guess maybe Vybz Kartel's lawyers will move to try and getting bail for them, because if they're no longer convicts now in their present state, then I suppose they will move forward with whatever it is, depending on what the local court of appeal will say at this juncture. Because I was listening to the was it the judge in the UK, and he was saying, boy, a number of anomalies that were not done right. I'm putting those words. He didn't say it in so many words, in terms of the jurors, or one specific juror being compromised and so on. This is really just predominantly opinionated of, my own opinion in the entire saga of Vybz Kartel. One of the things that I will state, however, is that the judiciary here, it needs a battery pull and restart. There's something off, and that was indicated by the Privy Council, in different ways. That justice seems to be off, especially of those from a certain social status. Even if you're financially well off, if originally you're from a certain background, it seems as if there is a stigma that's attached to the individual or the people, and you're treated accordingly, versus if you're from the upper echelon, the St. Andrew sections of society. So there is a defect in our judiciary system here in Jamaica. There's a serious flaw, a serious defect. I don't know anything about Vybz Kartel. You only hear things that people saying it is true or false or whatnot. The thing that I know is that, the whole case has been compromised, and he has been imprisoned on the basis of a compromise case for the last 10 years, on the basis of even what the Privy Council would be saying. And with that being said, and the case now being made public across the globe, I personally would not agree for them to do a retrial of the case. It is too tainted. It is too known. Everybody knows what it is. So everybody who comes in, nobody's coming in fresh with any fresh information. I'm not saying that information can't be fresh. And then it has been 10 years. Memory fades, as Dan Jackson Miller says, and I mean, just a whole host of craziness can happen, and it can create further problems. I don't know. Maybe they just need to, I know, I hear people say, boy, they're afraid to really release this man. Some say they should release him. But whatever right, even if you think he's guilty or innocent, if he's not treated on the basis of our democratic law, right, it's not good to still take away the right of a man, whether you consider him guilty or you consider him innocent. And I'm saying that in light of, even when we think of different cases that should be dealt with here in a fair and just manner, they're not necessarily dealt with that way, in the eyes of people, in the viewpoint of people. This thing needs to be dealt with in the right and proper way, and I hope it will not be dragged out any further. So thus far, his present conviction has been acquitted, and sent back to the local court of appeal for them to just, I suppose, make their final deliberations, make their final decision on what it is that needs to be done. You know, because this case is just, you don't even know what to say where it is concerned. I have no clue. I have no knowledge about the man more than he's being a musician. You only hear things, you know, of him being a part of gangs or, you know, contributing to the death of these people and all manner of things you only hear by the wayside. These are things that you only hear. I can't prove if it is so. And if they cannot prove it is so, then what do you think should happen, beautiful people? You know? Because we cannot continue on a path where our judiciary system looks weak, where our judiciary system seems as though it cannot be trusted, where it seems as if there is a favoritism, classism, colorism, moneyism, powerism. I mean, I'm calling all these words using hyperbole for you to understand, you know, the different ills that we're facing, the different biases that seem to have crept in this particular case and created all of this mayhem for the Privy Council to say. It's almost like they're saying, oh, what kind of nonsense this? You mean if you tell me says madness had taken place how many years ago, and this man went to prison, you know, without any form of proper due diligence being done? It behooves the judiciary system to do the right thing, whether you consider a man innocent or guilty. Let me tell you, you have a whole lot of people on the outside that should be in, and vice versa. So whole heap that are in that should be on the outside. That's a fact. That's a reality. It is a sad state of affair. And I feel bad when I see the Privy Council having to state the fact that, you know, with the whole juror being tainted and compromised, that the whole thing was just not done right. There's a defect, so to speak, in the entire judiciary system. It's like I wonder what works properly in this country. What works properly in this country? Everything seemed to be, you know, like a malfunction, like a defect, like some sort of decadence. There is a problem. Nothing is dealt with right. There is no justice. There is no fairness. And again, it's not so much only as it relates to Vybz Kartel. I'm just thinking about different things in this country. How things are dealt with, my beautiful Jamaican people. The country come like it just runs on corruption. It runs on mayhem. It runs on social upheaval. It runs on everything that you can think of that is negative and not good. And I think as a people, we're just tired of it. We're really and truly tired of all this madness. Another reason why I'm thinking that a retrial would not be good is that it's going to be taxpayers' money too will be affected. Because you have to go to court, lights turn on, this lights, camera, action, every single thing would be. And what is it you're going to accomplish? How are you going to remember everything? Where is the star witness? So many different things. That's madness. A retrial would be crazy, crazy. Some people are saying that, you know, they're probably fearing that he would sue the government. But I was listening to Deion Jackson minister saying that it would be futile if he does that. It would be really, really pointless. You know, because it's not that they went in completely with blinders and completely with no form of information. They had a star witness and whatever it is, whatever information was presented at the time. You know, some level of, I don't want to say facts, circumstantial evidence was given. So it's not that they went in with them too long and too empty brains and decided, I don't like this man, so I'm just going to do something and cause him to be behind bars. Even if you feel that way. So it would be, she's, you know, as a legal mind, a trained legal person, you know, saying it would prove futile for him to do so. And I don't think you'd want to do that at this juncture with all of what has happened. In other words, if he could be incarcerated for 10 years on just accusations, so-called false accusations without any solid proof, then can you imagine? No. It would behoove him not to sue them. Just let bygones be bygones should he be released. I hope, you know, if he's released, that he turns over a new leaf. That's it. And do right. If it is that he did not do right prior. Gifted, talented artist, maybe should focus on a craft of musicianship as opposed to any other thing, any other ship. But we will see, and I hope it's not dragged out. guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message. Thank you.